round boy table, not round the square or triangle. We come to hang and the game on Fridays as we're able. We play well here in Camelot, we are chums and fun, but Camelot. We're nice at the round boy table, our host is formidable. He runs his strange, loves insane, but sure he's quite unstable. He's automatic in Camelot, but seems never to have done a lot. Quite incomprehensible. Blue wrench in hand, we have no plan but to sit and hear Dodge babble. It's a lazy time in Camelot.
I have to shake my bum a lot.
This channel is a not-so-proud member of YouTube's all-encompassing special society of heavily overwhelmed layout enthusiasts. Check any railway show, check any railway club, check any layout, check your own house. You'll find one of us somewhere. Warning, the content of this stream is not suitable for children under the age of 16. The topic, language, themes, attitude, and personality of the presenter is not appropriate for anyone, much less children under the age of 16. Topics discussed will not center on trains and will focus on anything except politics. It just happens trains are running. Any similarity between characters, situations, trains, and intelligent thoughts is strictly a coincidence. Any rebroadcast or transmission of the stream without the express written consent of Major League Baseball is strictly prohibited. Viewer discretion is advised. Remember the 3 rules for model train layouts and pretty much anything. It's your layout, do what you want as you want. Do not tell someone else what to do unless they ask you directly what they should do. Do not call out, mock, criticize, or insult another channel on your channel or anyone else's channel. Thank you for your cooperation.
And see it, you'll love it, and it falls on in the best possible way.
Hey, welcome in, fellow Knights of the Rhomboid Table. The Grand Feast Hall is open. I have not seen Mick, so I don't know if the bar is open. Somebody's going to have to step in and open the bar. I hope you're all doing well, especially our friends in the areas hit really bad by the Wednesday, Thursday storms that ravaged across the central United States. Tammy, I believe, is here. Tammy and Ray, thank you for your email. As I often explain, here where Joyce and I live, specifically in this part of Toledo, we don't get hit. We might get heavy thunderstorms and hail with the bad storms, but we don't get tornadoes within a couple of miles of us. There's something about the geology. It's called the Great Depression, but that's emotional as well as physical. Toledo's in kind of a bowl, and it causes these storm patterns unless they come straight south or straight north. They tend not to hit Toledo remotely as hard as they do a few miles north, a few miles south. We've had 2 tornadoes that have touched down in Toledo in the last 50 years. 3 if you go back to 1969. Only 1 touched down anywhere in the middle of Toledo, and that lasted only about 5-10 seconds, although it did take out a big foundry at the time. Art Iron, it was called, knocked their building over and out. But anyhow, let's go in and welcome all the Knights of the Rhomboid Table that are here and on my list. If you were here earlier, chatted, but haven't chatted in about 5 minutes, go ahead, pop back in. Again, if you got a question for me, try to, I know if you're on the phone, you can't. So either all caps if you're on a phone, or, you know, do the @ with my name so that I'll see the comment if it's aimed directly at me. Anyhow, we've got Sir Andy of 81E. We got Sir Lee, who is watching, listening, but in the background working. That's almost a copy and paste comment, Lee. Anyhow, we've got Sir Colin of Wykes. We've got Sir John Benicki. We got Sir Leslie of Gilpin. We got Sir Andy from March West Junction. A plethora of Andys. We've got Sir Andy of March West Junction, as I mentioned. We've got Sir Dino from Model Railway Shed Dino. We've got Lady Tammy and Sir Ray from Mom and Son Train Rail Fans. We've got Sir Clive of Newland Railway. We got Sir Randall Ellison. Speaking of people, I was catching Randall in an earlier chat today talking about he drove through, Bay. Is it Bay, Arkansas? My brain's not working. That really got hit. Memphis areas got hit. I'll talk about that in a minute because it does affect me. We've got Sir Rob and Lady Grace of RGJ Trains are here. Welcome in. Great to have you in the feast hall. Our CEO, Sir Tim of Dowd, is here. Our Sergeant at Arms, Sir Tom of Couples. Sir Tom Houston is here. We've got Sir Corey from Train Buff Boy 47 is here. Sir Chris from the Valleys is here. And then we've got Sir Eric from Von Don Eisenbahn here. Now, Train Buff Boy, I want to both thank you for the little donation, but I want to say don't. I don't take donations. I don't want to take donations. If somebody accidentally does, I turn right around and throw it into a, I don't use it on myself. I throw it to somebody on the street that has a sign saying need money or what have you, or give it to whatever charity Joyce and I throw it into. I'm not a rich man, but I don't need people giving me money. And I guess it's weird, but I always want to be grateful for the thought and that. Due to your alleged breaking, yeah, I have not caught up with all that. Lake City. Bay didn't get as bad as Lake City. That's the one you mentioned going through Bay, but Lake City got it much worse. You are right. Hey, did I see Monsville is here from New Zealand? Good morning to you over on that side of the world. Good evening to some, good morning to others, and good day to the rest. So, mentioning the storm and how Memphis was affected, I had a model Loco that was supposed to be here Wednesday, but it got held up in Germany. And then it finally got to the United States, and it arrived in Memphis just in time for the storms to wreak havoc in the Memphis area. And obviously everything in Memphis is delayed, so now I'm not going to get it. They say Monday, but with FedEx, they can say what day they're going to deliver it, but it's so rarely accurate. So, otherwise, it's been a very quiet week. In fact, on my channel, it's been a dead week. I mean, no comments, no watches on videos. I did break 2,500. I believe I broke it Saturday. I got up to 2,504. Now I'm down to 2,502. But I was at 2,498, and then I went all the way down to 2,480 something, and then I climbed back up and finally broke 2,500. So I'm very pleased, honored. Lord knows. I recently went to a couple of channels I've been subscribed to for a long time, and I don't know how to say this without it coming out wrong, but it's weird that I'm actually bigger than they are now, because when I subscribed to them, they were well over 1,000 and I had 150, you know, or 1,800, and I kind of went past them here in the last year or so. But again, some of that's getting content out. A couple of these channels just don't put out a lot of content.
Anyhow, the big deal was last week I ran those American trains, but I could only run half the cars I had because half of them had couplers they don't have. I got to get used to all this. I'll call it, my apologies, please forgive me for saying it. I'll call it the American coupler system because I always think of the Hornby D-ring. Hang on. Oh, if I had a machine gun. Sorry if you're a cat lover. Anyhow, but these KD and horn hook and knuckle couplers and all this, so I didn't have the right couplers. So Ray Bobel kindly offered, and these arrived, I think, Wednesday. But he sent me a bunch of the correct horn hook couplers, which are the exact ones. I already opened the box, sorry, because I didn't want to do it live and go, oh, wait, wrong. But yeah, these are exactly what I needed. So thank you, Ray. I can now go to those other cars. I haven't done it yet, obviously. I wanted to wait till the live stream and show what you got me. So Ray Bobel, I don't know if you're watching in the background, but thank you very much. You got to go back to work. All right. Well, thank you, Corey. And again, thank you for the money, but you didn't have to do that. Obviously, you were feeling very generous, and I can't say no to generosity. I just want to encourage people not to be generous to me. I don't need super chats. I try to disable it, and it keeps re-enabling itself. If you are monetized, they do that. There's one thing I can take off, but and I also don't do channel memberships because I don't offer any content for channel members worthy to do a channel membership. And if I'm going to throw up a video, everybody can see it. So yeah, I got these horn hook couplers. These are exactly what the doctor ordered. So thank you again, Ray. Awesome. And that looks like there's plenty to do what I got to do. Plus, I now can add some Boville and Newton stickers to my channel collection. Hooray. And I got one other box to show you. And this is a very special box. Where did I put my knife? Oh, I am a danger to myself and others. Oh, okay, I buried it under the... I got a letter from Ray, and it was just, I hope you find the 16 horn hooks NMRI standard couplers useful. Yep, they're useful. I already found them useful. All right, and then I got a little box, and this one is from the UK. And, in fact, it's from a company called Model U. Ring a bell, anybody? Model U. Now, anybody who was at Getz knows Joyce and I did not get ourselves scanned. We did not get ourselves scanned because we told a buddy up in Canada we would, if we ever got scanned, we'd go up there and do it. But anyhow, I tried to order a bunch of figures, but they only had 4 I could get. So these aren't going to... but I got Richard Watson from New Junction. Oh, look at that hand going already. Richard Watson, New Junction. Yay. I've got Ollie from Wardle Roads Restorations. Wardle Restorations now. I got Jenny Kirk. And one more. I wanted to get Peter Dixon from Torton Road because he did some Model U, I believe, but they didn't have his available. Dawn Quest was not available when I went on. I was going to go ahead and do Dawn Quest, but at the risk of saying my favorite out of the bunch, and I make no apologies for saying my favorite out of the bunch, is Lord Owl from Dragon Junction. So I'll be painting this up and getting him on my layout. The problem is if anybody has seen Andy from Moreland Model Railway, his paint job on his Lord Owl figure, holy crap, what a work of art. Oh my goodness, he did. Oh, wow. Hello, Jeff's Trains, and anybody else I missed. Hey, Ray Ron is here. Great to have you here, Sir Ray Ron and Sir Jeff. Welcome in. Anybody else I missed? I apologize. And so yeah, I got 4 figures. Prices wasn't bad and shipping wasn't bad. So, yeah, I was quite happy. But yeah, Andy from Moreland Model Railway, wow, did he do an amazing job. I have bought some. Already on my layout is Heath Hurwitz from Humanity Junction. Rick from Foltz Bailey. Steven, the Plumber 33, although he doesn't really come on YouTube much anymore, other than to post train show videos. Let's see, who else? Oh, Sparky 107. I've got Artie from Aus America, and I'm forgetting one or two others. My apologies. But Joyce and I are thinking someday we'll get ourselves done. Going to be listening, but they want me to get some work done. Oh, that's right. You did start a new job. I forgot about that. You did start that new job. You posted that earlier this week, but my brain just does not hold on to much anymore. It's frustrating. It's embarrassing, really. But that's a different story for a different day. Hey, Aaronville. You've been scanned 4 times. Well, I'll check that out. Well, they make them, these are available. And like when we went to Getz Model, you had a booth and a bunch of people were getting scanned. But what happened is the company that were doing the prints for them, they do the scans and then they send them off to be printed. From what I understand, something happened and they had to change companies and people's orders got delayed months. Like Lord Isle did it at Getz, and he didn't get it until a couple of weeks ago. Peter Dixon did it, I think, at Getz, and he didn't get it for a couple, or he did it even earlier from a different train show. But anyhow, so that's really everything that's in the world. So good night, take care. Let's get some trains in action, show you what we're running today. I'm afraid some of you will be bored. My apologies. But then again, this is what I feel like running today. So let's go to the correct camera if I can stop and just remember where I want to go. All right, what we're running today. We are running on line 1. We are running a German IC with the Deutsche Bahn Museum Nuremberg Design and Rail livery, which is one of my favorite liveries on one of my Locos. So we'll put that guy in motion. I gave everybody a couple of test laps, but the way my week has gone this week, I fully expect disasters. All right. In line 2 is an IC4. You can tell by the more wedge-shaped instead of the conical nose shape. It's more of a wedge shape. That's the ICE4, which is one of my longest trains, although I think I have it at 9 cars right now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, I've got it down to 9 cars. I was running at 11 for a while, and it just did not like it. So it's down to a 9-car consist. My second 101 of the day is the Märklin 160th birthday edition from 2019. And yeah, get him in motion here. Although he was running a little awkward here in his test lap, but yeah, he started off fine there. Oh, nope. As I said, I wonder what happened there. There'll be a little pause here. Uh-oh. That's bad news. What I fixed just broke again, darn it. Ugh. What is catching? No, that's not broken. That's in there still. All right, why are you running funny? Oh, well, I'll sort you out later. Let's see who can pull you instead. already got the red 101. Let's go with a red 218. Where did I set them? Oh, right there. Sorry about this, people. I'll be back in a second. Huh. Wonder what's up with that. I thought what I broke, broke. All right, let's get those guys back in motion at least. And I just changed it out for a 218. And then in lane 4 is another 101. I was going to run all my 101s today. Well, that's already out the window. And then my Flix train. And then in the background, I'm running a 187, a mini freight. But a lot of red today, my friends. I apologize if you don't like all the red. But a lot of red today. All right, take care, Eric. Try to have a good day at work. No, I'm lucky in that regard, Aaron. I do have an entire basement that my kids have all grown up, and 2 out of 3 have moved away, and the other one is hibernates in her room all the time. I should say that. She hibernates in the living room. She comes down here. She does have a workroom I gave her in there for all her sewing and stuff she does. Like, she's making a bunch of plushy toys for some friends. She's got some friends from Europe coming over, and she promised them all some plushy toys based on some video games they all like. I just got to add a 218 in here, so bear with me. Which 218 is this? Not that one. Easiest way is to look real quick. $4.99. That's right. I can never remember if it's the $4.33 or the $4.99. I always pick $4.33 and it's always $4.99. Ah, well. All right, we'll get that guy in motion, and sorry about that little interruption. Just, yeah, I got to figure out what was going on. This guy was going over the points, and it sounded like the ski was scraping and dragging. But, so I thought, because this is the bogey that seemed to break, and I fixed it a while ago, and I ran it in a live stream about 4 weeks ago, and it ran beautifully, but for whatever reason, today it was just bumping over those. So I got a couple Locos. One of these traction tires and that one I need to test, which I'll do tomorrow. I do like the Flix train. I think the cars, for the cost of the cars, are some of my are probably my most disappointing Märklin rolling stock. I should say that. That's not fair. It makes it sound. I've just had, I had 5 of them, and 2 of them are bad. Hey, Sir Carl from Bangotcher Junction is here. Hello, hello, hello. Now, just to frustrate the people on small phone screens, I'm going to go to the multi-view for a minute. While many of you are here, despite some requests to stop, Joyce and I will be having a new parody song coming out in the next few days. Everything is done except Joyce has to record her vocals. I don't know if I'll talk her into doing it tonight. She's got a busy day tomorrow, but she says she'll try tomorrow, but I'm going to try to talk her into today, later this evening. Hey, Dave, we got a new one. It's not a funny one. It's not a sad one. It's a sappy one. It's a tribute to all the people who run trains and sheds. So many of you who run your trains and sheds, I stole video from your channels. So like Aaronville, you'll actually be making an appearance in our parody song video. Lord Al, Dino, Hot Dog Pilot, Andy, Mav, Daz, Sparky, if I didn't mention him already. Martin from Shedmouth Junction. All these people will be making cameos and some of their trains. Ewan from the Growler. Another American channel called The Train Shed. Well, hello, Sir Hi. Although the number are growing, I'm lucky. I was like the second YouTuber to ever visit Al's channel, or second or third YouTuber to ever visit Al's shed, Lord Al's shed. I got to visit it. Of course, he's modified it quite a bit in a couple of years since we were there. Speaking of which, there is Lord Al. Hey, Sir Raymond of Legs is here. Sir Alan of Dragon Junction is here. And James from Dundas Junction. Welcome in, everybody. Welcome in. It's great to have you all here. And Sir Gerald Stewart is here. I don't know if it's an honor. You'd have to see our parody videos. It actually was a scene from your latest video. I just needed about, I grabbed about 10 channels that I know. Oh, Digger Evans is another one. Mostly UK channels. You know, I've done a couple of songs about Loft, but I went with Sheds this time. The song we chose, and again, this is not one of my funny bits, and it's not even a serious bit. It's kind of a tribute, a salute video. It's actually been one of the hardest songs to write because I didn't start with the idea. The way it happened was I was listening to the song by Tears for Fears, "Everybody Wants to Rule the World," and the first line is "Welcome to the World," and so I just jokingly, while driving in the car with Joyce, said, "Welcome to the shed. Time to run my train," you know, and I just started, and Joyce looked at me and said, "Is that going to be the next song?" I said, "Well, I don't know. We'll see if I can get anywhere with it." But over a couple of days, I wrote some lyrics, but I was never really happy with them. It was beyond corny, and it wasn't funny. And then I came up with the idea of making it a tribute to the people working the shed, changed probably half the lines in the song, or maybe 3/4 of the lines in the song. And so I don't think it's my best written song lyrically, but then again, every time I think I've done a good song, it bombs in terms of viewership. I thought the last song I sang, I thought the Pink Floyd song where I sang, even though it's me singing, I thought I sang it decently, but I thought lyrically and that it was both funny and it was a cool video. But that did not get the love that certain other songs have. Joyce's song, "The Chain" from Fleetwood Mac's song, "The Chain." I also thought that was another really brilliant one, and it didn't do as well as some others. But, so you never know. Hey, Sir Andy of Puff Candy is here, and CMD is here. Hello, hello, hello. Yeah, A typical live stream gets between 40 and 50 people. Occasionally we go over 50 and suddenly it's like 55, 56. But usually I think if we go 45, I think that's, I wouldn't even say that's an average crowd, but that's a good crowd. Average crowd is probably about 42. The next song will be about the carpet. Oh my God, Tim, I could do carpet crawlers. Oh crap, Tim, I think you just gave me an idea. I'll do Genesis, Peter Gabriel's Genesis carpet crawlers. I just got to come up with the hook line now. Carpet crawlers, Corey, is an old song. It's got to be close to 50 years old. It's early 70s. It's Genesis. I think it's from their album, The Lamb Lays Down. It's probably my favorite Genesis song. Forget all the stuff that they did later and became famous with. Carpet Crawlers is probably my favorite Genesis song. They re-released it in like 1999, where Peter Gabriel and Phil Collins both sang lead, but it's actually a, but yeah, I could do that song. Go for it. The Peter Gabriel Genesis. Yeah, hey, Sir John from Mystic, hello. But yeah, so maybe as early as Sunday, maybe Monday or Tuesday, we'll be popping a new parody song. Like I said, I'm happy enough with the lyrics now to have Joey sing it, publish it. But I already made the video for it. And I think the video's cool. I think it's a cool video. Welcome, Ectodocious. Sounds like it should be a Sith Lord. Darth Docious. Darth Ectodocious. Clearly it sounds like a Star Wars name. Alright, let's get some big views going in here. Let's catch this guy coming around the corner here. The IC and the IC. So a lot of white and a lot of red today. Oh, I didn't even start the bottom. Sorry, people. I apologize. I just turned that on and realized I hadn't started yet. Oh. Is there a reason you're not going now? Are you on strike or something? Wait a minute, you're running the wrong way. That's better. Huh. I thought I had that set up. All right, Monville, you're taking off already? Thanks for popping in. Hopefully things are going okay over in New Zealand. I know they can be hectic at times. It will always be on the parody song playlist. I actually have a parody song playlist. It's called the Model Train Parody Songs. But you'll be tagged in it, so you'll know when it goes up. Anybody I put in it, where I know who it is, I tag them. I usually tag any channel whose videos I borrow. In some cases, I borrow way too many, and it's hard to keep track of where I borrowed them. Hey, there's Sir Christopher. Very funny video. I mean, you were dealing with a rough situation with the disappointing whatchamacallit, the Japanese Yamato or I forget, but very nice sharp rendition of Simerson. Mishap on the lower level. Yes, we do have a mishap on the lower level. What in the heck? Dudes, really? Oh my goodness, it's going to be that kind of a day today. It's going to be that kind of a day. Ah, well. Here comes the ICE-4 coming around the corner. Hey, Sir Alan Reynolds is here, and thank you for spotting that, Kara. I appreciate it. Hello, Lady Kara. Glad to have you here. Hello, Lady Jackie. Welcome in, welcome in. First half hour is always rough for me. Pizza doesn't sound bad. That's another thing that got me is I was just a little sick again this week. My family just keeps playing tennis with these various little bugs. Cayenne was sick over the weekend. They didn't come over for Sunday dinner, so I actually had more free time on Sunday. So I was able to pop in on Edward Happy Valley's live stream, which I love to do. Edward's a really cool guy. Hey, Sir Eric. You're still alive at the butcher shop. My. But, yeah, you can see if you look down there, right in the bottom middle, I did a little experimentation with expanding my scenics. I want to start filling in the gaps. But I had some various terrains, and I mixed them until I thought they were the color I wanted. I spread them out. It's okay, but it needs more. It looks a little drab. I want to put some brown it's basically some brown goo to make it look a little muddy, and then I'll put some weeds and some various forms of static grass in there in the long run. You've been watching a lot of Bosnian and Czech steam lately. That is a very specific thing to look. See, what I gotta learn to do is catch the cameras before I change to make sure there's gonna be something in the visual. Greetings, Daniel Ruiz. Well, everything's okay. Had a couple of odd little issues to start and had to change a Loco and fix another, but yeah, I'm loving those Coronation cars. Oh my goodness, I'm loving those Coronation cars that just came out in the last couple of months. Welcome in, GRE. Yeah, I'm a European train guy. 3-rail, Märklin mostly, although I do have plenty of Roco. In fact, my new Loco that is now coming in Monday is not a Märklin. It's going to be my second Loco of a certain company. We'll catch the Class 218, pulling the Munich-Nuremberg Express, although he's moving kind of slow right now. But I keep him a little slower because you get a chance to see it. No, John, they said they would get back to me, but they have not gotten back to me. Hello, Greg from Great Northern. Sir Greg of Great Northern, nice to have you here. Well, we were up to 47 for a couple of seconds and now back down to 40. The one I'm really interested in is they have a TEE set. The diesel TEE or the gas turbine TE. I'm not sure which one they had. You're down in St. Louis visiting your dad. That's nice. But yeah, I want to start getting scenics in here so when you look at this, you're not just seeing the grass mats and... But it's going to take... Oh, I'll be honest, years before I get this all scenic up, but I am trying to consistently start moving. Now that all the issues that held me back for years are out of the way, I now have several projects I can advance and do them when I'm feeling the courage to do it. But it's also a little bit of money. There's trains I want to buy. My train budget took a bit of a hit here. Because I bought a Loco I didn't plan on buying. Yeah, it's the DBVT 11.5, I believe, Raymond. But my original goal today was just to run a bunch of German regional stuff that you would see going through either Bremen or Delmenhorst. And then I wound up kind of changing that, but it's all German. Everything I'm running is German today. except for obviously the 2 British trains. And yes, 2 British trains this week instead of 1 American and 1 British like last week. We leave on May 28th. I think it is. May 28th or May 29th. We hit Frankfurt in the morning. And I think it's Thursday morning we arrive. And we're not even leaving the airport. We're going straight down the elevator to the train station at the airport and going directly to Koblenz, which is where we're going to spend our first week in Germany. And then from there, we're going to spend 4 days in the Lübeck-Hamburg area, and then a week in Denmark, and then a week in Rostock, and then back to Frankfurt and out. And we're going to spend 1 full day in Frankfurt just to kind of rest before we get on the plane and take out. Well, Clive, I don't know if you've seen Aaronville's tables, but it might be hard for him to do a split level, although, you know, you could build a second level down there. You could build a second level between the legs. At the bottom, it would be static. But if you wanted to wire it up the way you're wiring up your upper level, then it might be hard to reach that stuff. Because this was originally going to be double level. I was going to have a second level down here. And I was trying to figure out the best way to, I was going to park all my trains, sort of have my trains would be in a big parking area on one side, then they would go to the other side and kind of like a helix, loop around a couple of times and then come up on the side and come in this way. But after I built this table, we realized we needed storage down here. We took out a closet, and this house does not have, I mean, when we redid the basement, we took out a lot of storage. And so I had to replace that storage. We had cabinetry that was storage. I took that out to build this table as big as I could. And so we got a bunch of... all right, Corey, take care. We got a bunch of storage bins, and everything is stuck at that, and it's under here and under here, pushed up this way so that I could fit the UK layout down here, but over here behind these train boxes, behind these trays, there's just all kinds of storage bins filled with holiday plates and blankets and blah blah blah, whatever we have. Well, welcome, S and CR Railway Lines. Welcome in, welcome in. Yeah, I understand that Aaronville going up and around would be the only easy way. Maybe. I won't say all modelers, but every now and then a beginner model train guy will ask me, foolishly they'll ask me for advice, and of course, I don't like to give advice because I'm scared I'll tell them something and they'll be wrong. But they always say, well, how big should I build? And my attitude is, build as big as you can get away with. Steal every square or cube inch of space you can. Take into consideration storage, whatever. Because you may say, I'll be happy with a 2 foot by 4 foot. And if that's all you can do, then that's what you do. But if there's a way you could do a 2 foot by 8 foot or a 3 foot by 10 foot, because very few guys ever build up and say, oh, I have too much space. I want my layout smaller, except guys that are retiring. I know a couple of guys that did have big layouts and moved and went to smaller layouts. Sometimes not by choice, though. All right, Eric. Glad to see you. Hopefully you'll come back in, or otherwise have a good weekend. We'll catch you on somebody's live stream somewhere, my Columbus friend, because you guys got some pretty good storms down there. I was talking to my son. My son lives on the southeast suburbs of Columbus, Ohio. He lives in Canal Winchester, which is very funny because as a kid, I remember driving through Canal Winchester. There was a gas station, some local diner, and a couple of houses, and now it's this booming little subdivision because Columbus has doubled its population in the last 20 years. Its highways are a mess because it's just growing faster than it can keep up with. There was a time Columbus wasn't much bigger than Toledo, and now it's almost 3 times the size of Toledo. Can I reach all areas of my layout? Yes and no. I have a device for reaching the areas I can't reach by hand. That was the one thing when I built my layout, when I built this version of my layout, I built some areas that I realize now were not reachable. Oops. So, yeah, if I have a derailment, I either have to force it to keep coming along until I can reach it, or I have to get, I've got a 6-foot grabber arm, which is upstairs because my grandson likes to play with it. We were monster hunting yesterday, and we were my grandson and I have a lot of fun pretending. So we were in a canoe going down a river in a forest, and we were getting attacked by all kinds of stuffed monsters. Giant kangaroos and Tyrannosaurus rexes and drop bears and evil teddy bears and whatever else. And sometimes they grab you and drag you out of the boat, and your partner has to get the grabber and get the monster off of you, and you had to be there. Do I have a stop train? Or is that a... no crashes today. I only had that one, and that's only like the second one in 5 years I've ever had a live on-air crash. I mean, I would say about 60 to 70% of the time I have no issues. Lately, I'm keeping up with that, because I could go months where I don't have any issues, but lately it seems like every other week I start with something wrong. But part of that is I normally spend Wednesday or Thursday running things to make sure everything's good, and I haven't been doing that lately. I give them a lap and go, okay, it worked, just like my 160. If I'd run that 3 or 4 laps, this guy, if I'd run this guy a couple of times more, maybe it would have started. But when he did his test runs yesterday and before the stream today, it was running fine. And then all of a sudden, oopsie. But yeah, that is sitting, now that I look at that, that is sitting higher than it should be. Yeah, that's got too much play in it. I know it's the steering side. Is this the side that's messed up, maybe? Oh well, I'll test it. Nope, I can't do anything now. I'll test it later. But it was doing fine. It just went over the points and had issues. The one I see in this picture, no, that's parked. I have 6 lanes that run. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then 6. So no, that ICE4, my green energy ICE4, no, that's parked. That should not be running. Just like the container cars behind it. Yep. 6 trains should be running on the main layout. Let's go here. I'll show you. Because I haven't done this long view. This one. The climate friendly. So yep, everybody's all parked. Yes, there was a diesel ICE. Well, I tell you, that Swallow Livery HST, the Hornby one, it takes a while, and then all of a sudden, it gets going fast. You have to kind of crank it up to start, and then after about 10-15 minutes, everything seems to warm up, and then it runs like a racehorse, and then I got to turn it back down. That Twindex, ran 2 weeks ago. That Twindex Vario, that ran 2 weeks ago, maybe 3. Allô, Titiari, ça va? All right, good night, hi. Yeah, now that you guys have caught up with us, it's going on 10 o'clock where you're at. You've been working hard on your expansion to your shed. Hey, Curly, hello. Oui. Oui. Moi aussi. And speaking of which, Chris, you posted, I think, I got a notification, but I couldn't comment. You posted a video or a short. But yeah, last week's live stream, just speaking of everything dead on the channel, last week's live stream got about 100 views less than they normally get. Everything was dead on my channel last week, or the last couple of weeks. I did a couple of videos about changing out the slips, and those got tons and tons and tons of views. And then the last 3 or 4 things I posted, again, stuff I'm doing on the layout, the views just kept going down, 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 down. I put too much out at a time, I guess. Okay, you put the coal loads into your 16-ton mineral wagons. Cool. Raymond, did your computer die? Yeah, I've got... It's probably easier. Let me go this way. Yeah, Daniel, I don't know if you get this well. Yeah, I've got computers, tablets, smartphones. Everything can run my layout along with my control system. So computers, cameras. This computer here is actually my wife. It's actually my old gaming computer laptop. It's an Acer Nitro. But my wife Joyce uses this for when she comes on. So it's logged into her account. So when she comes down, she can watch YouTube. And if I want to load stuff onto her YouTube channel, I use this computer. Yeah, I probably should be like that, but I tend to film and get them out, and I figure if anybody's interested, they can go back and look when they have time. But I've been frustrated because I bought a couple of things and they are taking forever to get here. And I've got this new locomotive, and I've been driving my friend Jean Ricard crazy because normally I'll tell him ahead of time what I got, and this time I haven't. I normally tell Jean, hey Jean, I got this, and you'll see it on the live stream, or I'm putting out a video tomorrow, but I'll show it to him, give him first looks, but this time I'm being mean and not telling anybody what I got. So hopefully I'll get it Monday and have a video out Tuesday about that. It just depends on which video will come out first. Our new song or a new first impressions video. You play a lot of trades. I do. Aha! I thought I timed that right. Catch about 4 trains going through there at one time. Is anybody going to come in, or when the Flix train is done, it's done? Okay, when the Flix train's done, it's kind of done. That's a nice bright camera. Yeah, I don't like tuna. I don't like seafood. The only fish I eat is square white fish, deep fried, batter dip deep fried. And I like batter, not breaded. Like schnitzel, proper Wiener schnitzel should be batter, not breaded. Opinions vary. Probably the understatement of the year, Hot Dog Pilot Andy. Opinions vary. That's like saying water's wet. Ah, that joke had to be made, Scott. You took it upon yourself to make it. The infamous seafood giant. The warmest day in the UK. We had a couple of nice days last week, but weather's been crazy here. We had yesterday, or was it Wednesday? We had thunder snow. We had snow. We started with rain. The temperature dropped, so it was turning to snow while we still had thunder and lightning going. It was really weird. And the snow only lasted about 20 minutes and didn't even stick on the ground. You need a new DCC controller. Well, I can recommend a whole bunch, but it depends on, like, DigiKeys tends to be linked to a bunch of other things. But depending on money, the Z21, but don't get the start, get the higher up one. They now make 3 levels of it. It used to be 2, the starter and the basic. Now they've got sort of a slightly more expensive deluxe version of the Z21, as you guys say, or Z21 as we say, or Z21, as the Germans say. And otherwise, an ECOS, and even my Märklin Central Station 3 works with DCC. You don't have to do Märklin or Märklin C-Track, but it's expensive. You're going to pay a lot of money for it. It and the ECOS are similarly priced, and then the Z21's just a bit cheaper because the ECOS and the ESU ECOS and the Central Station come with their own screen, and controls in it where with the Z21 you use your computer or your smartphone instead, and you gotta use the app. I have to use an app to run my Central Station 3 on my computer, but I don't have to use an app for anything else. Well, I have to use it for the smartphone as well, but I can just use the Central Station 3 all by itself. It's just nice to use the computer and have everything going that way. Are they identical? No! No, they are not. If you look at here, the doors, the one that just went past, the doors are more in the middle. And on the one coming now, the doors are wider to the end. They are both single levels, but one's your... Uh-oh. We've just had a crash. Oh, the UK, the HST. Oopsie. Well, we'll be right back. Here, I'll let you watch this. Be right back. The HST derailed and went completely off the rails. Some days the gremlins are just out to get you. Oh my goodness. Apparently I've annoyed the train gods today. Hey, Sir Brian, how are you? Well, technically Raymond Point Break is a remake of a movie, so, you know. Sir Brian, yeah, all good here, other than just one Loco was acting up on the upper level, and then the HST just derailed out of the blue, and it derailed and fell off the track. I'm going to slow it down and let it get going. I don't show this video a lot because this camera a lot because you know, there's only 3 trains that'll ever come into this camera. You like to see a lot of quiet. Yeah, normally when I'm alone, thank you, Andy81E. I did that. This basement didn't used to be that well lit, but when I redid the basement in 2017, I made sure it was lit. Therapeutic metal trains. Whoops. Rusty, and it fell off and... Oh my goodness, Joyce! Anthony, woo! Saved us. That was scary. I had to save me and Joyce from certain death. Hello, Sir Chase. Welcome in. Here, you get to see a train. Actually, it's over here. But on this camera, I'm looking at you here. We'll watch this guy coming all the way up. But yeah, this basement was never well lit. It was lit well enough, but yeah, when I redid this basement in 2017, after we had to have all new weeping system, they tore up the whole interior of our basement, put in a drainage system all around the walls in the basement, sump pump back in that room, and more and more and more. Yeah, it's been it's a night and day difference. Yep, that's me and my wife. I just, as a joke, added us there on the layout. Yep. Now, Daniel said that he likes a lot of quiet. When I run these trains in a live stream, I turn the sounds off. But when I run my trains offline stream, I tend to run at least 1 and usually 2 with sounds. If I'm running a diesel, then I will, if I'm running different types like diesel, steam, and electric, then I'll make sure at least 1 of each is running on sound. But otherwise, I don't run them on sound during the live stream because it can get loud down here. It's raining where you are? Yeah, Aaronville, let me go back to that camera. This is actually based on a town that I spent every June in from 2003 to 2017. It's a town called Delmenhorst, and it's about 5 miles or 9 kilometers or so west of Bremen. I ran a student exchange program. My school and the top school in the city of Delmenhorst would exchange students. We weren't allowed to travel during the school year, so we would go in June after the school year, and we would live for 3 to 4 weeks in Delmenhorst. My kids had to go to the school there, but we always took lots of field trips to teach them German history and culture, but also to keep them from getting into trouble in the school. Because most of my students only had a year or two of German when they would go on the exchange program. So they did not speak fluent German, and the classes were in German. Except for the one English class and the one history class where it was bilingual. All right, John, take care. Thanks for spending some of your time with us. Raymond Legs is doing Steve Miller Goes Pop. Abracadabra, yeah. Question. I arranged the land and water of the most beautiful river and mountain. Well, that's the problem. What is the most beautiful river and mountain? You'll get a billion different opinions on that. I love the Rhine River, and I think the area between Koblenz and Mainz is absolutely stunning. The Rhine River in Switzerland is stunning. The Förderrhein, as it's called, the beginning of the Rhine on the border of Switzerland and Liechtenstein. I have not seen it personally, but I've seen tons of 4K video. It's absolutely stunning. It's beautiful. I've been down the Colorado River through the Rockies. Absolutely stunning and beautiful. I'm going to use the word stunning and beautiful a lot, so just get used to it. The Elbe River doesn't go through mountains, but it goes through some, actually, technically, it does go through some mountains. It goes through several mountains, but in Germany, it's the Erzgebirge, which are like big hills and not mountains per se. But that's a beautiful area. You can actually, the picture you're seeing right now, right center on the screen, that picture right there, that's the Elbe River going past a town called Pirna. P-I-R-N-A, Pirna. And then the town of York, which is on the Ouse River, although there's about 7 different Ouse rivers in the UK at least. Joyce and I had a beautiful walk along that river every day. I forget the name of the river in Bamberg, but that's beautiful. You have a tornado in Shrewsbury at the moment. Is that the train, Brian, since it was sunny there? Yeah, the River Severn and the Pennines. So, yeah, I mean, I will never say one's better than the other. I've got way too many rivers, and I'm going down the Mosel for the first time this year. I've been to where the Mosel meets the Rhine in Koblenz, but I've never been beyond Koblenz. So Joyce and I are going to be visiting a few places along the Mosel River. Yeah, I have cameras I don't show a lot for some reason. The Muddy Brown River Usk here in Newport. You know, the Maumee River is a very silty and brown river, Tim, but it can be beautiful. Yeah, I'm not surprised they're getting ready to dump the IC1 with the new Talgo coming in. And more and more IC2s, as well as they're now making the Twindex Desero and Vario in IC2 liveries. So, yeah, the IC1 cars are out of date. Yeah, Leslie, the Eden River. Well, based on videos my friends send me, Raymond, the 101s are still pulling a lot of high-speed passenger. Although I have seen some doing regional work too. See, Brian, you mentioned the tornado, and I knew you were talking about a locomotive. But considering America, the eastern half of the United States just had 2-3 days of nasty storms with tornadoes, our minds are that way. Doesn't Brian go live this Saturday? Tomorrow? Haha, I was right. Somebody should be coming into view there in a couple of seconds. There he is. And those are the Zilberlingas, the Enverkehr coaches with the doors, double doors in the middle. Well, here we go. See, there you can see double doors in the middle, and here you can see single doors at the end, and those are nicknamed the Eurofirma, if I correct. And Ifo's not here to correct me. Well, Raymond's here. You would not want an A1 Pacific touchdown on my house. I totally understand that, Chris. Although the community at large probably would be better off if a A1 crashed down on one house instead of an F3 blowing through the entire town. Yeah, Andy, I mean, they got rid of the board bistros on the IC1s, but they still have, there's still somebody who goes up and down and sells a beer. Lord knows we've seen them because they're really expensive. But we took one IC in 2023, and it was right as they had phased out the board bistros on them. And we took an IC1. And yeah, they had a couple of people going down. They had these little trolley things they're pushing, and they had pop and beer and a couple of snacks. But then again, you just load up with the beer before you get on the train. Joyce and I have sat on ICEs and regional trains, and we watched various groups of people. We've seen a group of Italian people that probably were only a little bit older than Joyce and I are now, but still call them old folks, retirees, getting out the champagne and the wine. And you know, if you have Italians and wine, you have a lot of talking and a lot of hands moving. I hate to have that sound stereotypical, but my son-in-law, who is Italian, would confirm that. I don't know. I've only gone to the buffet car a couple of times in my life. And the buffet cars, basically most people in the buffet cars are there to use their phones and not get food. Joyce and I always pack food. If we know it's going to be a long train ride, we pack lunch and we'll just eat a lunch and snacks at our seat. And to be honest, that's more enjoyable. Although someday, maybe I'll ride a real train with a real nice restaurant car, some sort of heritage train with a restaurant car, and we'll really do that. You know, go to a restaurant car. But the bistro cars, it's just, you go up to it, it's a quick snack anyhow, microwave heat anymore, here it is. Very minimal meals. I've been on first class rail jets and everything else, and their restaurant cars are fast food basically. The griddle car on the GCR is a must. Well, someday we'll have to look into that. Time is running out, unfortunately. In Poland, you can only drink in the restaurant car. Nope, in Germany, yeah. Joyce and I once got on a train in Delmenhorst, and we had to stand because it was packed. And people were going to World Cup games and Euro Cups. It was, I forget which one it was, but it was years ago. And this guy had a 24 case of beer. And we watched him finish off a case of beer between Delmenhorst and Hamburg. That's an hour and 10-minute train ride. Whoosh, whoosh. Friendly guy. But boy, I wouldn't want to be on the train any further than he was going. Oh, you're on the GCR Sunday, the griddle car on Sunday? Aaronville, Joyce and I couldn't afford an Orient Express. The problem is, even if there's a good restaurant train, there's better restaurants when you get off the train. I hate to say that, but I don't want to eat off a good meal on a train, because when I'm on a train, I'm traveling from point A to point B, and somewhere at point A or at point B is a good restaurant waiting for me to find it. You know, Joyce and I, we travel cheap. We travel cheap. By far and away, the most expensive part of our trip, obviously, is the flight. But we fly economy class. if we can afford a couple $100 extra, we might get the economy class plus, which gives you like 3 extra inches of seat room, which is a difference, especially when you're a guy like me, 6'3", and you spend an entire flight with your legs in somebody's back like this, trying not to keep bumping them. You know, constantly apologizing. Sorry, I'm just trying to move. I can't help it, you know. But I could never travel if I only would travel first class. Joyce and I have only been on a first class train twice. Well, 3 times. And only once did we book first class. We booked first class on the Railjet, which was awesome. But we booked a trip from Edinburgh to Stirling on a ScotRail's HST with a Class 43. Beautiful train. And they said, hey, we've got nobody on this train. For £5 each or whatever it was, we'll upgrade you to first class. And we're like, sure. So we upgraded. Another time we were on a long train ride from somewhere in Germany, and they upgraded us for €9 each to first class, which we did. And it was definitely nicer, but it wasn't as nice as that HST first class. Hey, Sir Dirk from Southern Cross Rail System. Hello, hello, hello. Yep, yeah, I have not been close to an Orient Express, but I've been, there was a luxury train, heritage train, running a, you know, basically tickets were like €400 each on this train, and it stopped at Delmenhorst, and we were waiting for a train. So when we got to the station, that train was there. We went up to look in, and yeah, we got yelled at to stand back and stand away from the train. That if we didn't have tickets, to get away from the train. Now, I will say this, the standard Swiss IC, they have restaurant cars. I got pictures from 2017 when Joyce and I we were in this little middle of nowhere station, switchover station called Bietenheim. And a Deutsche Bahn Swiss Rails IC with a restaurant car pulled in and stopped to pick up like 3 passengers or whatever that were there. But it stayed there for about 15 minutes. And we went up and looked inside. That restaurant car, just a standard IC, but that was a luxury restaurant car. The Swiss don't do anything by halves, apparently, because, I mean, I could have ridden on that train easily for a trip, and we just booked an earlier one. And so it wasn't like it was pricey. I mean, Swiss is expensive. But yeah, that was a very nice, fancy restaurant car. He had to remortgage the house. The landscape is complete. Maybe sort of. Yeah, it's nice to look at this right now. To see the ballasting in. I still got to put all the terrain in here, but it's ballasted. You can't see the brickwork right now because it's, you know, it's on a sheet. Did the HST stop? The HST separated again. Oh my goodness. What is up with this HST today? It is being a complete gerber, razzin. And did you stop at the other end? Of course you did! Oh, HST, you're piecing me off. Oy vey! Oh. No, can't do that. All right, we're going to have a crash. Well, maybe I'll just shut the HST down today. He's being a... HST's just being a pain in the patootie again. Hello, Sir Brian. Rock Rail fan, nice to have you here. Hey, Sir Ian of King Fox, welcome in, sir. I know, I've been following you on Facebook. I have to do that every 2 years now, Ian. Every 2 years. I'm on the watch list. No, Brian, it's probably something with the track. Because if I run it on the outer lane, it's fine. The inner lane, sometimes it runs fine, sometimes it doesn't. I think it's just the order of the cars. Don't apologize. I love it. It's been a great runner. It's just acting up a bit today, and it had only one other live stream where it also, but everything was acting up on that live stream down there. And the thing is, my cats have been getting into stuff down here lately. My cats got in trouble, and they got banned from the living room for a little while. And so they're living down here pretty much 24/7. They're not allowed in the living room, so they just hang out down here. And they've been going back and forth through this a lot. It's a radius 2 curve. Which is about 18 inches. It should be okay. And like I said, it usually doesn't have problems on that. It definitely doesn't have a problem on the radius 3 curve on the outside. No, I feel for you. You're going through it now. I've had so many anymore. The prep is the worst part. But I've long since built a table in the room, if you know what I mean. And I set up a computer, and I've got another laptop computer, a couple of books. So if I'm spending part of the day in there, I can watch TV, I can read a book, play games. Hey, Sir Dave, welcome in. Another wonder from down under. Yeah, you had it done 2 weeks ago. But I just think it's one of the cars has got a goofy axle, and it's not liking something on there could be a microscopic germ. I probably should get down here and vacuum the tracks up. Hello, Charlie from Partikill. How are you? Sir Charlie of Partikill. I could put the whole I could put the whole Big Gulch crew down here. Well, most of them. Some of them are only half. All right, let's have some fun. My platforms are not long enough for this. Nope, can't go in. Can't go in. There, just for people who say the trains never stop at my station. But here's where the illusion gets ruined. There we go. Just for people who say the trains never stop at my station. There you go. I saw you mention you had a vid to put up, but I did not see the video itself. Yes, Tom, the trains actually stopped at my station. Just to be fun. Oh crap, I still haven't mailed that computer to Randall. Alright, I will try to get that boxed up and out. I just haven't whitewashed it yet because other things keep happening. Keep getting sick. Family gets sick. There, we just followed that IC around the layout. Almost all the way. There you go. There's a view. You get to see those guys going. I gotta learn how to program it so it would just automatically change every so many seconds. No, Ian, I bought that at Anfield. I bought it at the Anfield gift shop when I was in Liverpool a couple of years ago. I had a smaller Liverpool thing up there before it, but no, that one I bought at Anfield. My daughter, I think it was my daughter, bought me a small Liverpool scarf that I used to have hanging up back there. But when I went to Anfield in 2023, I bought a Mo Salah jersey, which I still have, just been too cold to wear it. The scarf, and Joyce and I got our picture taken with was it once with the League Cup, the one they won a couple of years ago, or a few years ago now, the only one that Klopp won, and then the UEFA Cup. We got our pictures taken with that. The blue light was your baby, the red light was your mind. Ah. All right, now just to drive those with, let's go to the multi-view. Now you can pick what you want to look at. And for most of you, it's on your phone, so it's too small to see anything anyhow. Love in Vain, the Rolling Stones. Not one of my more favored Rolling Stones songs. Don't like a lot of the Rolling Stones, and that one's definitely not in the category of like. Yeah, I'm looking forward. I don't want to go that far ahead anymore, but I'm looking forward to September, only because I'm going to start a new tradition. Like I always do Steamer Palooza. I do Steamer Palooza for Christmas. I'm going to start an Oktoberfest tradition. So when Oktoberfest starts, my first live stream after Oktoberfest starts, I'm running nothing but beer trains. And the 100 or so beer cars I have. Street Fighting Man is probably my favorite Stones song. Love that song. Joyce and I actually have a parody we've never released of a Rolling Stones song. I get people all the time, why haven't you done this? Why haven't you done that? I get people going, why haven't you done a country song? And my answer is always not meant to be rude, but unfortunately, it will get taken that way. Which is, for me to do a parody song, I have to like the song. Because I will listen to it a lot to write the lyrics. To write the parody lyrics. To get the beat, to get a feel, listen for certain nuances, fluctuations in the voice and stuff like that. So I'll listen, and if I don't like the song, I can't listen to it. I won't, if I hear a song on the radio I don't like, I change the channel. Although now I just have playlists. So I listen to memory sticks in my car. I haven't listened to a radio station in 20-some years. Joyce will listen to satellite. It's on the whatever satellite group we have. It's Channel 36, Alternative Nation. She listens to that channel. Thanks, Kiwi. That one is one I'm very... I thought it was funny. And it seemed to strike a chord. Of recent songs, it definitely got a lot of views. I won't say it got the most views of all, but let's see, where is it? Yeah, it's definitely in the top. It's definitely in the top 10 of views of our videos of parody songs, and of any of the songs we've released in the last couple of years, it's probably number one. It's hard to gauge what number that breaks off, but that number of views of our last 15 songs is by far and away the, well, I shouldn't say far and away the most. The funniest thing, though, the second most of our recent songs, let's say the last 15 to 20 songs we've released. The last 15 to 20 songs we've released. The second, Losing My Train Mojo is number one. But the second most watched is our parody of the Dandy Warhol song, which I think is good, but that it got that many more views over songs that I think are better. It blows my mind a bit. But we do have a Rolling Stones song. I mean, that's something Joyce and I get asked actually almost on every song video we do, because some people will hate it and let us know they don't like it. Some people will say, oh, this is your best yet. And we, it's hard to tell what is our best and what is our not so good. It's really hard to tell. I mean, because I always look at both how my opinion of my lyrics, how good are the lyrics, how well did I write the parody. And I definitely have certain ones that I think are more brilliant than others. Then there's the singing. For example, if I sing the song, it's hard to like it. For example, the very first parody song we ever published on our channel, Queen's Bohemian Rhapsody, I couldn't talk Joyce into singing it. I begged her to sing it. I begged for friends to sing it. Nobody would sing it. So I finally did it. I think it's one of the best lyrics written, especially considering the complexity of the song I was parodying. I think it's brilliantly written, but my singing makes it awful. Now, having said that, it's still the third most watched of our parody songs ever. Now, when everything comes together, there's Digital Killed the Analog Guy, which I think is just brilliantly written. I'm sorry if I sound egotistical, but 60 years of being a writer, I tend to be able to judge when I'm at my best and when I'm at my worst. And I think that was definitely well written. Joyce sings it really well. The video's funny. The lyrics are funny. Oh, you got more lightning going, Randall? Yeah, Ian, I got just the Premier Cup, the Premier League Championship Cup, and the UEFA Those are the only two I got pictures with. Spare him his life for his one sausage tea. And it's not like we're the first ones to do parodies. I saw you. When it's hard to, when you're keeping it in a narrow hobby, model trains. Because that's what I guess. Like somebody says, "Oh, you're always making fun of all the problems in model trains." Yeah, that's part of what a parody does. You repeat certain themes over and over. Yeah, I mean, there's only so many tropes, only so many archetypes in the model train hobby. So the battle between analog and digital, building and rebuilding a layout, spending too much money on trains, yeah, those things are going to get repeated. So yeah, we do repeat them. And again, nobody's forced to watch. Nobody holds a gun to your head and says, "Watch this." Yeah, that old phrase, "There's only 7 stories." I think there's fewer in model trains. But yeah, we've got and I never say I feel like writing a parody song. I'm going to sit down and write a parody song. I listen to music, and just out of the blue, a joke line will come to me. And if I like the joke line, I'll listen to the song to see if I can come up with a couple of other joke lines. If not, it's forgotten. It goes away. If I come up with a couple of more, then I get the pencil and paper out or the computer out, and I start writing additional lyrics. I then go to, I listen to the song a few times to see if I get more joke lines. I then copy and paste the lyrics into my computer program, and then as I check I go through and check the rhythm and meter. How does the voice up and down, stress versus unstressed syllables, try to match that all up, mark that all up to get an idea. Okay, this is iambic pentameter. This is trochaic tetrameter, just to give you a tongue twister. And I go from there. As I think of it, I put in lines, and then I'll have a basic song down, and then I'll go back and say, I'm not happy with this, I'm not happy with that. But I have to like the song. And I don't take a song and say, I'm going to make this a parody. I'm just listening to a song, and the parody comes. And trust me, I only do about 1 out of 1,000 joke lines that come to me. Maybe 1 out of 500. Because I do this for stuff I don't post on YouTube. I don't produce videos, but I'll be in the car and a song will come on the radio, and I'll be thinking about something social or political, and I'll start taking that song and making fun of whatever I'm making fun of. I just don't share that stuff here. So if I post something on this channel, it has to be model train related. What are you doing, you stupid cat? Yeah, I mean, it did. I'm pleased with it, but the thing is, some of my favorites are songs most people don't even know. Or, newer people to the channel don't necessarily go through the playlist, or they listen to the first 2 songs I sing on the playlist. That could very well be, Kara. It's definitely something I think about, is it how well known the song is. But then again, I do a Pink Floyd cover of a very famous Pink Floyd song, and it gets 200 views. And I do a obscure song by an independent band called the Dandy Warhols, and bam, it gets 600 views. So sometimes you just catch the right wave. But, you know, like the very first song Joyce ever sang, Stuck at a Train Show with You, is still one of my favorites. I just think it's funny. Joyce sings it. A lot of people liked it. There were some people that didn't like it because it's, you know, it's a parody. It's meant to be funny, but people take it seriously. Like, that video's why I never take my wife with me to train shows. She used to always complain all the time. I was like, okay, I'm sorry it brought a real life memory. But, you know, I wrote that about me. When I was a toy collector, I used to make a lot of that song just to talk about the third song we did, the Stuck at a Train Show with You. That actually would have been Stuck at a Toy Show with You, because I used to beg Joyce to go with me to toy shows, toy collector shows. And she would go, but not all the time. But there were times where I really didn't want to go alone. The kids didn't want to go, and I would beg her to go. And I would kind of make her go. Not that you can make Joyce do anything, but, you know, I would just guilt her into going. But there's a couple of things. So a lot of that is actually more about going to a toy show than a train show. But, like, now you're talking to that Charlie, and he stares at me too creepily. That is because there was a toy dealer I knew, name changed. And we're going back 25, 30 years when I was a really big toy collector. And yeah, there was a dealer that, as we would go, and our shows were 3 times a year. So you would see these guys 3 times a year. There was a guy that was fixated on Joyce. And Joyce was always very uncomfortable and would ask me not to talk to him or not to talk to him too long, because he was always checking her out. Kalinka, kalinka, kalinka. Uh-oh, yeah, thanks for the warning. Kalinka, kalinka, kalinka moya. Zadu yagoda malinka, malinka moya. Hi, kalinka, kalinka, kalinka moya. Boja moy. Yeah, he always made Joyce very uncomfortable, and so some of that is just from my own experience when I do those songs, and then a lot of it's. But again, it all starts with I'm just walking along and listening to music, and all of a sudden one of the songs pulls out. And if I'm happy enough with it, it gets published. Hang on, I'm going to put this up here. I'm just going to, not that any of you care about it, but hey, I'm babbling about it. So here, let me pop this up in here. Okay. Okay. So is it? Yeah, here we go. Okay, I got it here. These are, on the left, are songs that are done. They have been written. The music's ready to go. We just never recorded them for one reason or another. Actually, the very top one has been recorded, but only one person, and they're not alive anymore, has that recording. The very first pun song, parody song we ever wrote, actually, I had been doing it for a while on Chris Whittingham's live streams, but there was a show where he was getting close to 100 subs, so he asked for a shout out, and he says, "Help! I need a shout out," and I immediately did the Beatles song, "Help!" and I literally typed it right away because I write very quickly like that. If I'm really inspired, it just comes. "Help! Chris needs a shout out, help, you know. And then I just wrote 2 stanzas plus the chorus. Chris loved it and asked me if I would finish it. And so we wrote it and we made a little video. Joyce sang it and we sent it to him, but we never published it. And then we were making fun of Lee from Anfield Road, and we did a Queen song, and I wrote like 2 stanzas. We were making fun because Lee was famous for his hammer. And we did Hammer to Fall, but I went home and I was home, but I got off the live stream and started writing lyrics and fixing it up. And later that evening, I went live, and my friend Dave Williams had already written his parody where he's singing Hammer to Fall. And actually, Dave also has a good singing voice. So I gave up on doing that one because he did it. Even though I had already written 2 stanzas in the live stream, he went home and wrote a totally different song to the same song. But yeah, but there you can see we got the Stones, Give Me Locos. Argent's Hold Your Head Up becomes It's Your Layout, which it's a long song, minimal lyrics, and the lyrics are just a little too banal. Let's put it that way. Legend of Tim Wells. The only reason this hasn't been released is Joyce has 2 areas she has never been able to get past. She just keeps flubbing it. She loses the rhythm. She's done about 8, 9 different attempts to record it, and she keeps flubbing up in the same area, and now it's become a mental block. The Who's, Bob O'Reilly, Middle Age Playland, Teenage Wasteland. Again, long song, short lyrics, not worth doing. YouTube Hero, which I originally wrote in anger against a certain channel I was very mad at. And then I decided not to release it. Joyce doesn't want to sing it. I changed the lyrics around and it makes fun of me instead. And I've been debating doing that one and trying to do it with my Rusty Twanger Growl. Sunday, Sidetrack Sunday, by the time we got around to recording it, half the guys in the song had left the show, so that just is... I'm just a member of a model train club, for the Moody Blues. That song is waiting to be done because, again, it's got an area where Joyce keeps flubbing the middle 8. She just can't get past it. Psychedelic Furs, that's just one Joyce doesn't want to sing. All You Need Is Trains, the Beatles, All You Need Is Love. It's just, I don't think it's a great, I think it's okay, but I don't think it's as big an anthem. If you're gonna parody one of the great rock anthems of the 60s, you need songs. And then my son wrote a song he wants to sing. We're just waiting for him to have some time when we get together and record it. He doesn't have a title, but he wrote it to squeeze his hourglass. Then you can see there's 5 other songs I'm working on where I don't have the lyrics finished. Yeah, Raymond, I don't think they're that much older than you, but yeah. Of course, you tend to sing lyrics to songs that are 40, 50 years old. Yeah, see, I just killed the chat with going through that. Sorry, guys. Oops, wrong screen. Don't want to be on that screen. Don't want to be there. Let's go back to there because we got a lot of trains on that one. I sing songs that are 20 years, 30 years, 40 years before I was born. Listening intently. But yeah, I've always done this as a kid. When I was a kid, I always wanted to be a writer, but I wanted to be in a rock band and write lyrics. I wanted to be a Roger Waters, a John Lennon. I wanted to write the great epic lyrics. And that's where my poetry started. And then at the age of 13, I recorded myself singing one of my songs, and I heard my voice on tape recorder. And I realized then and there, I was never going to be a singer in a rock and roll band. At 14, I bought my first plastic guitar and tried to learn to play. Couldn't afford to get lessons. Oh, Puddle of Mud. Cool, Randall. We actually were on a plane from Germany with Puddle of Mud. We got to meet that band. My kids were all excited. They're like, Mr. Dodge, do you know who's sitting in front of you? No. It's Puddle of Mud. Who? Puddle of Mud. Never heard of them. And the band members are hearing that conversation. And I'm apologizing. I said, sorry, are you sure? So one of the guys in the band got up and said, yes, we're Puddle of Mud. And my kids, my students were all, oh, it's Puddle of Mud. And so I looked at my kids and said, these guys are on a plane. Are you starting or finishing a concert tour? We just finished our European leg. We're going back home and start a new album. Oh, okay. Guys, they just finished a tour. They're tired. And so my kids were very good. They left them alone. Oh, it was not Puddle of Mud. It was P.O.D. Oh, darn. Sorry. That story just went out the window. It was P.O.D. I'm sorry. P.O.M. P.O.D. Hey, Lindy. How are you, sweetheart? Are you feeling any better, or are you guys worse today? If you are relatively new to the channel, Lindy Loves is my oldest daughter. Although she might hate me saying oldest daughter, but she's my eldest child. And she is the mother of my one and only grandchild. See, that's the problem. I don't know who the bands are, so I get the names mixed. It was P.O.D., not Puddle of Mud. Kyan! Hi, Kyan! Darn. I thought I had something relevant. Yeah, Raymond, I disconnected a memory stick because I was done loading stuff from it onto my computer. Nobody's there. Sorry, Kyan. Sorry, Kyan. Oma's not here yet. I haven't even heard her come home. She must be working still. But I always did parody songs. You know, when I was a kid, there were all kinds of parody songs out there. I mean, like Yellow Submarine got turned into Yellow Marshmallow when I was like 4 years old, 5 years old. We all live in a yellow marshmallow. Just stupid stuff like that. But yeah, I did parody lyrics to songs. Because, you know, it's not like Weird Al invented it. You know, he just became the most famous and most successful at it. But there were plenty going all the way back. So I just always did it. Made up my own lyrics. But yeah, so... But the new song is Tears for Fears, Everybody Wants to Rule the World. We'll see how that goes over. Yes, yes he did. There are parody songs and there's straight up comedy songs. Hello, mother. Hello, father. Here I am. At Campanada. Which is technically a parody song because he's singing to a orchestral piece, which I'm brain's not thinking of right now. Coming at you! Coming at you! You were a huge fan at the time, but not on that trip. Puddle of Mud are the ones that kept getting banned from performing in Toledo. Ah, okay. So I knew there was some connection in the family with Puddle of Mud somehow. Hallo, Dominik, wie geht's? Wie steht's? Kyan's feeling a lot better. Well, Kyan and I had a great time yesterday. Of course, we had a great time on Tuesday, and then he fell asleep before you got him out the back door. And you said that he showed no interest in ever waking back up. Nothing more metal than being banned by a whole city. Well, you don't have to be metal. Because back in the 70s, John Denver did a song called Saturday Nights in Toledo, Ohio Are Boring. And yeah, the city council voted to prevent him because he would come to Toledo. And after that song, and when he finally was allowed back sometime in the 80s, he referenced it and he did sing it. But he even got booed by many people in the crowd who only went to his concert when he was finally allowed back to boo him. And Kenny Rogers did his famous song, You Picked a Fine Time to Leave Me, Lucille. He was in Toledo, and he was at a restaurant where he watched a couple break up. And he changed it from the Italian restaurant he was at to a bar. But the opening line, in a bar in Toledo, da-da-da-da-da-da. You bought the Hot Wheels X Transformers. He's number 6 out of 10 in the Screen Time series. Cool. 2025 Mainline Optimus Prime. Super toll. You know, if you talk about pun songs and you do, you talk about, Weird Al, it's hard for me to pick my favorite Weird Al. I do love The Saga Begins, which is the Star Wars parody using American Pie, but I also love his Bob, which is Bob Dylan's Subterranean Homesick Blues, but he does it as all palindromes. A pagoda's a pagoda. Interesting. I don't know how popular Steamboat Willie would still be, but I mean, they still keep him around. Southern Man, are you talking the Neil Young song Southern Man? Yeah, it definitely pissed off some of the Southern rock bands. I like it, and I like what it says. It was a big song in many places. My dad and my grandpa didn't like Neil Young, but they liked that song. Yeah, Leonard Skinner. They did. I'm sorry, I said Alabama. I meant Leonard Skinner. But I don't like Leonard Skinner, so to be honest, there isn't a Southern rock band I like. There might be individual songs, but I am not a Leonard Skinner fan. Could care less for him. I'm as free as a bird again. Good, then fly away. Well, that would be nice if they did. Not that I would buy it, Dominic, but yeah. Yeah, Leonard Skinner, yeah, they answered back. They took some shots at Neil Young back, which he then fired back at them in a song of his. So, you know, and no matter how clever Leonard Skinner think they are, you're not going to win a verbal fight with Neil Young. And you're probably not going to win a physical fight. Neil Young probably could have kicked most of the members of Leonard Skinner's butts. Thank you, Kara. Thank you. You're watching from the cheap seats. Yeah, I'm not a huge Neil Young fan, but he has some songs I do like. I actually can do a decent Neil Young impersonation of a couple of songs. But it takes me some work to get there. But like when Neil Young sings very high, almost falsetto, I can do that, which sucks. That people that sing falsetto, I can do decent impersonations of. Yeah, the Kinks were funny. I mean, the problem is the Kinks, you never had to worry about messing with them because they were messing with each other. You had Dave Davies and Ray Davies, and those two fought on stage. They were the Gallaghers before the Gallaghers. If you know Liam, you know, the Gallaghers from, oh crap, my brain's not working, Oasis. Liam and Ian Gallagher. Those two brothers fighting and feuding, and now they've gotten back together. They've buried the hatchet, and apparently they're getting ready to do a new album and a tour. That seems to be what's happening. But yeah, Dave Davies and Ray Davies fought like cats and dogs. And the other two guys, the original bassist and drummer, would get into it. They've had fights, fist fights with drummers, and the drummers have quit the band middle of a tour. Oh, I love the Kinks. I love any generation of the Kinks. I don't like every song, mind you. But from their caveman rock stuff to their very British, you know, well-respected man. Waterloo Sunset. In fact, you saw we had a Kinks song that I'm working on. I'm Not Like Everybody Else, which is up there as one of my favorite. Lola. Lola is probably my favorite Kinks song. I'm not the world's most physical guy. I know what I am, and I bet I'm a man, and so is Lola. Wait, what? Something Else by the Kinks is one of your favorite albums. Yeah, Mick Avery versus Dave Davies. Absolutely, Andy. Yep. Well, we always revolve around some sort of musical chat in some of these live streams. Well, you should find Lola. It's a great song, but yeah, it's the reason it actually got banned on the radio, because it dared talk about a cross-dresser. I'm not dumb, but I can't understand why she walked like a woman but talked like a man. I'm not the world's most physical guy, but when she squeezed me tight, she nearly broke my spine. Yeah, Journey I could take. There's some Journey I like, but I would not say I'm a Journey fan. Journey was always big in Toledo. They came to Toledo. Steve Perry dated a woman from Toledo in the 70s and early 80s before he met the Sherry that became the song in his solo hit, Oh Sherry. There's a lot of stuff I like by Journey. And again, it's like the Eagles. I could take them or leave them. There's stuff I love by the Eagles, but most of the stuff by the Eagles I'm not a big fan of. Journey, some of their songs I really like, but overall, Same with Foreigner. Foreigner's got some great songs, and then there's a lot of, to me, meh, you know. What? Oh, you're late. You are late. There is no excuse for being late.
I had to help Dad with several things.
Of course you did. Of course you did. We can see right now how stressed out you are. You already got... Oh, I thought I handed the mic over. I got distracted. No, I handed a mouse over to you.
Yeah, I know. I'm not sure why you did. Okay. So, hi everybody. And hello Tom. Hi Randall. Hi Andy. Thank you, Valley. And hello Raymond.
You are late. I have been waiting for you. Where the hell have you been?
Hi, Arabelle. Hello, Carl. Hi, Kay Guns. Hi, Colin. Hi, Finnerton. Hi, Tito. Hello, Southern Cross. Hello, Andrew. Northwest.
You will be sent to the Russian front.
It's fine. I'll fight. Okay. Oh.
You could do your joke. Pickle Alba.
It's a pickle Alba, sir.
No. Is that your
I will knock you out with your pickle harbor and hit you with a tank.
No. Is that your pickle Alba, or are you happy to see me?
Yes, is that your pickle Alba, or are you happy to see me?
Is that your pickle Alba, or are you just happy to see me?
So I'm going to put you on. So,
Hair
anyway,
flick, yep, hair flick.
so,
Although,
I didn't
no,
catch
my
anybody.
guy is,
Were the kids unruly today? They just talk. My one kid is still, she'll be back on Monday, so we'll see how that goes. But they just talk all the time. So, it just, they're not bad kids. The other group, I can't say that. My group are not bad kids. They just, they're
talkers.
they get along well and they talk a lot.
She's got a good group of kids, but they are talk.
Yeah,
they can't
talk.
quiet down. The other group that she teaches certain subjects with,
Yeah, they're difficult.
There were some bad kids in there.
There's a lot of drama in that group.
The kids in the group don't like each other. Many are emotionally disturbed.
Yeah, probably. All right, if you haven't hit the like button today, please hit the like button, ladies and gentlemen. Flick. So.
Yeah, we've had trouble today.
Oh, have you?
The HST derailed a couple of times, uncoupled and derailed and crashed itself.
Oh no.
And this guy ran fine in test, and then I started running him, and all of a sudden he's going over the 1 points over there and
Not liking them.
scraping, and don't know what he was doing, why he was scraping. So I'll test him out later. Otherwise, fine. I'll try to fix him later. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
We did go over. We got like
spring.
45, 46 at one point.
Oh, okay. Well, they're not hitting the like button then.
Well, there's that.
Oh,
Well, you know, last week's live stream didn't even break 300.
I know.
Yeah.
But it's spring, so who knows? Maybe kids are feeling.
Just, well, we had plenty of people in, just didn't get a lot of the after views that we often get.
Yeah, I think so. Oh, hello, Lee.
Yeah, Rando's got to see the train blown over the other day.
Right by the tornado.
They were loaded with BMWs and Toyotas.
Oh.
Oops.
Saw a couple Sienna vans lying on the side of the rail cars.
Well, the one video I saw was the guy that runs the. He was somewhere in Arkansas, I believe, but he he sold sheds. You know, sheds, small garages, wooden, aluminum, whatever, pre-built, etc. And one of the storm chasers was just driving by, and just the sheds were supposed to be here, and they were way down there in the middle of the street, and yeah, his entire stock that was outside just
it's gone. Yeah.
Moved several yards.
That and
Bit dented 25% off.
Upper Lower Michigan had two very bad ice storms too. There was a ton of damage up there too with everything.
Yeah, they got an
trees.
inch of ice. The same storms that were giving tornadoes gave ice storms up there and in
oh golly, they're
the lower
towers.
peninsula,
Yeah,
the lower peninsula.
It's the upper lower.
They got ice storms way up there.
Yes, they ended up where we had severe storms Saturday and Wednesday. I think is right. They had the ice on the top of that, and they're getting snow north of that. And just a volatile storm. And now it's raining, and I'm going to go get...
Is it bothering you? Yeah, she dropped that bomb here. Secede and join Canada. No more tornadoes. Now Canada gets tornadoes. Toledo doesn't. We're good. We don't get tornadoes. We've had tornadoes in Toledo. The worst one being April of '59. I've been around for 3 tornadoes that actually touched within the city limits of Toledo. The 1969 one, the 1959 one was the Easter tornado. 1969 touched on the east side, but we saw it going over. We saw it coming down. We went outside and saw it coming down. And then,
why you put up with that?
And then 1977 was the Art Iron one.
Right.
And that was only down for like 500 yards where it actually touched down. But you could see it because it was actually relatively near my house. You could see it coming down, and then you saw it go right back up. And then a couple of years ago, one just hit the very northern tip of Toledo. But like I said, this area, we can get the thunderstorms, we can get the hail. We get some pretty nasty storms, high winds. But part of the way Toledo is built and shaped and the geology of where it's at, it makes it harder to get there. Just north of us, like her brother only lives 10 miles north of us, and they got tornadoes all the time.
Yeah, it's just I think just being on the butt end of the lake, we get a little support from it. But, you know, it doesn't mean it's going to stay that way.
Eric says, do you want more snow?
Yeah.
No, I am now past my love of snow phase for the year. After March, I'm done with snow. I love snow. From November to the beginning of March, I'm fine. But the minute it's double digits in March, I'm done with snow. But we had snow thunder the other day. You were at work, but it actually had turned to snow for a bit. The Wednesday storm.
Okay.
We had wet snow, so it didn't even stick on the ground. But is that snow? Because we were having thunder and lightning.
Gotcha.
So we had a thunder snow.
There's a lot going on. Yeah, it was not very warm at all. It was just a couple degrees above Celsius. of 0 Celsius.
So.
So yeah, I saw a video. It probably was the same one, Randall. It was the train that got hit, and the guys were talking on it, watching this thing coming their way, and like one of them was like, "Yeah, maybe we should get away from the windows." And of course, one of the windows shatters, but it doesn't come in. You know, it just crashes. Yeah, it's a little harrowing. Yes, I just had to go to the bathroom.
Yep.
And I saw the
Tragic.
one guy I watched almost got sucked up by a tornado, so I missed that one. I didn't even watch it though.
All right,
Hey,
good night, Brian.
hi,
Thanks for
dear
coming
Brian.
and hanging out with us. And
Yeah.
it's always good to see you. See you on the chat line. Lindy was here earlier. They said she said she and Chris are feeling meh.
Oh, she stopped by?
No, they were on the chat.
Oh, gotcha. Okay, gotcha. So, kid gave him something. You take care.
And hopefully I'll be able to catch a live
Brian.
stream tomorrow, but
Yeah. I had a busy day.
you've got a busy day.
Yeah.
Yeah. Gonna try to tuck you into, we'll eat dinner and rest for a bit and then maybe sing tonight.
I can try, although the voice is probably not good. Last time we tried a Friday, it was bad.
Huh.
It was bad. Yeah, I'm not going to be able to sing tonight. You can hear my voice.
You've got an hour or so to rest it.
I don't think it's going to work. I don't mean to be negative, but I will sing for you this weekend, I promise. Oh, you guys are still here.
Okay, there we
That's
go.
good.
All right. Plug your ears,
So
everybody.
we're going to hi Cayenne.
All right, there we go. Cayenne!
Hey!
Oppa loves you! Hey, Cayenne!
All right, see you, Lee.
Bye-bye, Lee.
Oh, my goodness.
I'm more interested in your
So-
badness.
We have a week left to school
Before spring,
before our break.
spring break.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that. I may be comatose for 2 days, but
Yeah.
So, yeah, no, that was. I had to dig through my stuff to find her hole punch. Just put initialing them. That doesn't work. You need to hole punch them. I'm trying to really, now that she's been in now for 2 weeks, I need to talk to her about some of the things she needs to have done and do in our school.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's the third teacher there. So back to that again, getting them on the routine and knowing what's what.
You've had to train a lot of teachers this year.
I have had to train a lot of people this year. She's amazed at how organized I am.
Oh.
What's that tell you?
Hey, Clintonville, welcome in, welcome in.
Hi, Clintonville.
You are organized. You're
Yeah.
you're OCD.
Perhaps a little.
It's part of the ADD,
Well,
ADHD.
yes, but it's a compensation to cope with everything.
Yeah, there's that too.
So that's what I keep telling you. I have to be organized.
Yeah.
I would not function if I wasn't organized.
No. The problem is you try to organize things that can't be organized. You organize things that can be organized, but there are times you try to organize things, and sometimes your organization goes against my organization.
That happens at times. Whee! 4 guys right there. You just need the middle one.
Oh, we just got them all.
Yep. So.
No, I didn't have it on the 11 lane. That might have been cool. Just had 4 of the trains passing, and 5th and 6th are coming, so you just had 4
Yeah,
more over
right,
there.
there you go.
5
Yeah.
more over there just passed.
Right. Yeah, that's cool.
Sorry, guys.
Yeah, not catching them. Although you can
At
see
least
them.
up close.
You can see them down there. Okay.
And the organization varies. You saw a cat. Yes,
Ah,
yeah, the cats
yes.
they're banished to down here right now. Actually, they can go up to the kitchen, but they don't like the
Yeah,
kitchen.
they closed out the. We closed the door to the living room because she's peeing on the couch.
We have
next to
a
the pocket door.
Yeah, pocket door that can close and separate the kitchen from the living room. And
On the other half of the
we
house.
I just redid the living room, new couch, actually 2 new love seats,
We had to get a
and
different
new
rug,
curtains and new rugs
so they all matched.
so that everything matched. And we sprayed stuff on the carpet that you're supposed to spray, and it seemed to work for a couple of weeks, but in the last couple of weeks, the one cat, it's her personal pee pad now. She will not pee she won't pee in the box anyhow, but now she literally will walk out from behind the couch, squat and pee in front of us.
In front of us, yeah.
Right in front of us.
Which we all get really excited over. And then she doesn't know why we're really
So
excited.
she's nailed this new rug 4 or 5 times at least.
Oh, at least.
10, 15
Yeah.
times. So she came out and started to squat in front of me. And I got up and chased her, and she ran to the kitchen, and I shut the door on her. And I said, fine, you're not coming
You're
back
out.
in. You're
Yeah.
out. And then her sister came out like, hey, where's my sister? She's out there. Opened the door, chased her sister out there and said, you guys are banished from the living room.
Right. Well, and I think bring down their tree down here somewhere.
The problem is all the solutions to the problem with the cat creates family turmoil.
There's that, but another factor of this is these cats are very wild still, and we can't handle them. I can't just walk over and pick up one of those cats. They
Hey,
will
welcome
run.
back, Jeff. Sir Jeff.
And so our hands are tied. There's just nothing we truly can do.
They
with
also
them.
have the chips in them, the locator chips,
Right.
and they have scheduled appointments at the vet.
Right.
And the thing is, like, Joyce wants to make them outdoor cats, right? Even because we already got a pet door in the garage door. She wants me to build a little containment area, and we'll just make them outdoor cats. I won't do that for 2 reasons. Number one, I hate feral cats to begin with. I hate it when cats would come into my yard, and we've got a couple of feral cats that hang around my yard. And then I'm not going to put all that work in and then having them pooping and smelling up the garage, because I do a lot of work in the garage, especially spring and summer.
Well, again, they're very wild cats. We're not going to spray it in their mouth.
Right, yeah.
They rip
You
the
can't get a hold of the
crap out
cats.
it.
If you walk within, they've been with us for over 4 years, almost 5.
Yep.
If you walk within 2 steps of them, they run. They are antisocial, except Joyce can sit in the chair, and the
Yeah,
one
as
would
long
come
as
up
I'm
and hop on her
sitting.
chair,
Right.
as long as she's sitting. But if Joyce moves a hand too fast or a hand in the wrong place, boom, they're gone. They are 4.5 years old. Now, my
No.
suggestion was
They're
that
older
I
than
drive them out into the middle of nowhere.
They're almost 7.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
were 3 when we got them.
Yeah.
My thought was I drive them out about 50 to 100 miles. They were feral cats for 2 years beforehand,
Hi, Jeff, by the way.
and drive them off into the middle of nowhere and just open the car door and say, you don't want to live with us? There's the big wide world for you. But I don't want to put them in the neighborhood. And I don't want to...
Yeah, so anyway, talk about something else.
It's been contentious. And no matter what way we do, if we get rid of the cats, there's at least 1 person and probably 3 in the family that are going to be very unhappy.
Right.
But we've called the places and even said, look, we've had these cats, they've got these issues, you did not reveal they had these issues, you told us they were fine, the one throws up all the time, the other one won't ever use the litter box, we've used the litter you guys had, we've taken them to the vet, and the vet says, oh, try this, and oh, try that, and then the vet says, well, some cats just won't use a litter box. I'm over these cats.
So, yeah. The Gerald Bull type cannon would be handy.
Yeah.
So, anyway, yeah, this is kind of the solution. Which everybody seems to be on board with that. It's just putting
Yeah,
it
right now
there,
everybody's accepted the banning from the living room for now.
Except for the problems down here. I don't know, is there a way you could just get your wires jacked off?
No, because like the camera's under here, the wires, I've got the wires going through here. But they hop over stuff and then they catch their heads on the wire, so they're yanking the cameras off when they're hopping over things. Even when I've got the wires up.
Well, they need to be more up.
If they were any more up, they'd be on the track.
Not underneath. Anyway, I always figure
On the
there's
bright side, there's a
solutions.
couple areas down here with screws sticking out. If they jump up in the wrong place, they'd impale themselves head first.
Yeah. My biggest thing with having them down here is they like to chew on, Minnie likes to chew on wires.
Yeah, she does. I worry about that.
Mm-hmm.
But she'll only chew through a wire once.
You finished with a girlfriend when she adopted a skanky feral cat. Skanky's the best part of that.
Well, yeah, I'm done with pets. I love dogs, but I'm done with pets.
I wanted a dog.
She wants a new dog. And I even said, you get rid of the cats, maybe I'll consider getting a dog. But to be honest, I just want to be done with pets. Because every pet we've had, and we had a cat we had for 20 years and a dog we had for 15, and at the same time. We
Yeah.
started with the cat, got the dog. The dog stayed with us 15 years and then died around the age of 17, 16.
Yeah.
Because, yeah, she was a year old when we got her.
Yeah.
And we had her for just over 15 years.
Mm-hmm.
Well, in some regards.
Yeah.
But, badum-tish. Captain Peacock, I must get home!
My nose itches.
If my pussy's not fed by 6, she gets awfully upset.
Okay, my face itches.
What?
Ah, my face itches.
Oh. So,
We ran out of things to talk about.
it's been a rough week. And mail and cats
Yeah,
and
right. Been stressful indeed.
everybody being sick.
And the
And
bad storms and yeah.
so ask your weekly question.
What's for dinner?
I have no idea what's for dinner.
I'm hungry.
Pizza?
You sure they're not punk cats?
Yeah, they probably are. The funny thing is, somebody said black cats have a bad reputation to begin with, that they're troublesome pets. And I don't know why a black
Yeah,
cat would be
Mrs.
that.
Slocum was a lot of fun.
Yeah, Mrs. Slocum, yep.
That whole show was fun. We enjoyed
It was
watching it for
at
a
certain
time.
periods.
Sure. Oh, sure. As they had
Once
different people
Tony
coming
Lannister
in
or whatever his
and-
name was left, and they brought in Mr. Spooner.
Yeah,
It
it
went
lost
downhill.
some, of its good humor.
Of the original, I don't
Hey,
think
I,
anybody's left alive with the original
I
cat.
put cold water in I changed my fish tank. I gotta be the one upstairs.
You did the cold
I
water?
did the cold water. And they're all still there.
Okay,
So it didn't hurt them.
not yet.
And hungry.
Oh,
Go
they're gangster cats is what they are.
Gangsta. Gangsta.
Nah,
Come on, you gotta say it right.
gangster.
Gangsta.
They're two evil sisters. They would be an Agatha Christie novel if they were human.
Well,
You know, it's sort of like Betty Davis and Anne Bancroft. Was that the pair in Whatever Happened to Baby Jane?
Mm-hmm.
The two old spinsters, crazy spinsters. But my train locomotive that was supposed to be in Wednesday, that got delayed to Thursday, that got delayed to today.
Well, it was hanging out in Tennessee.
It got delayed in Germany.
Right, but then I say Tennessee, there were tornadoes this morning in Tennessee.
Yeah.
So that was not, they needed to go to Detroit, although Detroit hasn't been off. But now it's...
Well, they usually go to
now
Rossford from Memphis.
Now they're flooding.
Well, yeah. Well, we got flood watches on our
We
river.
do, yeah. Well, we got a little over 2 inches on Wednesday. I keep spilling my thingy when I put it in. I put too much water in it. You think I figure this out at some point? And my rain gauge, and we're supposed to get another 2 inches. Although they're calling it back, it looks like it's going to be more south.
11:30 last night, according to this, it left Memphis.
Okay. Gotcha.
But
Probably got
normally by
sucked
now it
up
would have
somewhere.
arrived. Yeah, it got sucked up by a tornado. My Loco is gone.
Well, it's not in Kansas anymore.
If it were in Kansas, I'd be worried.
What's that?
Kansas isn't on the way.
No.
Still
not.
want to do that joke in the next Matt Clark.
You found them? In Kansas.
Fud.
Yeah. It's in the air for a very long time.
That'd be what, 4, 5,
A couple years.
4 years?
Whew, he went out of the atmosphere and came back down. Charged locusts. Ew. I'm getting carried away.
Who is that? Who is that?
I'm getting carried away.
Thump! What's that? It looks like someone. Well, who is it? Someone. I know it's someone, but who? No, it's someone.
There you go. Expect that one. Ah, heck, you could have them land in Europe.
Oh, jeez.
That'd be even funnier.
Oh, shit, yeah.
Okay,
well,
folks.
if I go that way,
Got some ideas here.
I guess you're getting a writing credit again.
This is how it works, by the way. Is maybe they should. Maybe how about this? What if that happens? He never goes with my ideas, but they do spark his creativity. And does it worry me? No, it does not. I think I help.
No, like when I have writer's block, she'll offer 10 million ideas. I go, no. But her suggestions will spur me to. All right, Andy is now asking. We didn't decide what's for dinner.
I'll do a pizza.
Every time we talk about doing a pizza, you always have a problem with, oh, I'm fed up with the wrap, and then we forget it.
Yeah, it doesn't work with it.
Because I don't know that we could do Jets.
Yeah, Jet sounds good.
All right, Jets it is.
I can order online.
Well,
I'd have to leave. What?
you can't log in. Jets here.
Maybe.
Click on the plus button.
Yes, dear.
Just saying. Yeah, Jets is they're a chain, but how national are they?
I
Are they a
really
local
don't know
chain?
how far they go. DoorDash?
There you go.
Oh, that's not the right dash. That's not the right one.
No. Go back up.
It says Monroe Street. We're not Monroe Street.
Yeah, but go over here where it says website.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know how national. Yeah, and there you
that's
got
the right
Glendale.
one.
Allow.
Yeah.
So that's ours, isn't it?
Yeah.
Is it?
Yeah.
Text order, get 15% off. What? And then, do you want to sign in?
I don't remember my Jets account, but this one might. Oh.
Oh, it's got my
it's you.
account.
Success.
And then when you click login, it says incorrect information submitted.
Well, let me go to pizza. Yeah, it does. So which one is it?
Well,
Let's do
try
this
that one.
Except it didn't.
Bingo, you're in.
Got it. So.
Sorry, we're just ignoring you guys.
Yeah, we are.
You guys have Jets
you
Pizza
talk to
there?
Mike and do it here.
Okay.
Oh, do ya? Where?
Wisconsin.
Oh, okay. Yeah, we like Jets.
They're pizza, but they do thick crust pizza. That's
It's
their
very
specialty,
thick.
thick crust.
Yeah.
But they do a I want ground beef though.
Oh, I don't like the ground beef.
Fine, get pepperoni, or do you do half and half?
Switch to half.
Okay, do half and half. Do half pepperoni, half ground beef.
How did it? Half and half.
No, switch to half and half.
I did, and then
Now
I
you're
went
at
to
half
switch
and
to
half.
full. Okay, gotcha. I'm being
Pepperoni.
dull, I'm sorry.
Bing. And
The other half.
hamburger. Bing. Okay.
All right, and over here I always
Cheese.
extra it. I like the bread
Both
too.
sides, extra. You click normal, extra.
Yeah, I got it.
All right, I'm just
Okay.
side seat driving, dear.
Yes, you are. All
Like a certain wife of mine
right. Indeed.
when I'm in a car. Not that I don't give a reason to a lot.
We've been married a long time. Do you want pizza sauce or something else? I love the turbo sticks.
Yeah, get the turbo sticks and yeah, get
Butter
pizza.
garlic.
Well, I
ranch.
like the butter garlic, you know me.
Okay. Okay.
Onion, no, not onion. I
Like
love
coupons.
ground beef.
Oh, quick out. Apply coupons, apply coupons, apply coupons. And they don't like any of those coupons.
Wow, Andy, you're going full
Sausage meat, onion and pepperoni.
yeah,
I actually don't mind onion, but I don't think I want it on my pizza. Dead dog, wax vomit? What? Lark's vomit? Can't read
dead
that
dog,
far.
lark's vomit.
Yuck.
Testing 5 coupon codes.
Yes, it is.
We're just ignoring everybody while
For
you're
the
ordering
most part, it
pizza.
does it. You talk to the group. I'm busy over
I'm watching
here.
what you're doing. You gotta make
Right.
sure you're doing it right.
Okay, so continue to check out.
Wow, you're an expensive date. Did you do tip?
I will. Which address do they like better?
Why do they? It's the same
Oh.
address.
The phone number's different.
Oh, right. So go with that one. Yeah. Yeah, it's about that time. Let's really have some fun.
Okay, 6:46. We'll tip the driver.
Everybody in car 3 is going to car 2. Wow!
Oh, but it's forgotten
Boom!
my.
Wow! Everybody
It's
fall.
forgotten my card.
Uh-oh.
Hey, she'll be back.
Uh-oh. They forgot your card? Doesn't have mine. Shrimp pizza? Shrimp pizza. Oh, the things people put on pizzas nowadays. Wow, everybody's coming in the station at the same time. Brings back memories. I gotta make sure I turn off all the lights.
Hey, nobody watch while I'm doing this part.
I got you off camera anyhow. So just don't say the numbers out loud.
Oh, your num locks aren't on. There we go.
My num locks. My num locks. Let's see, can we do this?
Can we do what?
Yeah, everything's below screen, so you're good. I've got you blocked and... Crazy, man, crazy. All right, well, it's
Well,
about
that's
that
good.
time.
Yeah.
About 6:53. That's a long time for now.
Yeah. 45 minutes.
All right, well, the few of you that stayed around till the end, it's about that time.
A few of you did, yeah.
It's gonna be another
25.
quiet. I'll have to go back and see if numbers were low last year
Previous.
around this time.
Oh, yeah, you really could check.
Yes, I can.
Wow. We're Barbecue tomorrow. That sounds good. Is your
We gotta get
temperature
a
good
new.
for
We
it?
gotta get a new tank before I can
We
barbecue.
do, yeah. We gotta get more. Well, you went on everything.
Oh, I did. I was on the one, and then I apparently scrolled it back down.
There you go.
All right, everybody, it's that time. Once again,
Yes,
we've
it is.
come to the end of a Friday live stream. We want to thank you all for spending some of your weekend kickoff with us, because there are so many ways you could kick off a weekend. So thanks for hanging out with us. Yes, we definitely had a couple of rough patches with that HST
They
derailing
just don't
and
always
crashing.
behave. That's
Sometimes
kinda
they just
sad,
don't
yeah.
behave. And I got to figure out what's wrong with this Loco. Why it was acting up.
right.
All right, anyhow, look for a couple of videos coming out of us sometime next week. And
Yep.
until then time, we'll see you in the live streams through the weekend. We'll say, Auf Wiedersehen
Choose.
and happy trains. Take care, everybody.
Bye.